The immortal John Hancock, and I'm here to do a Polymega remix review. I purchased one from them, and it came in the mail today, and I was able to put together a review. I'm going to focus on the base model and its functions. I did purchase a Polymega controller, universal wireless controller, like the second revision of that, and I'm going to use that in today's review. I threw a bunch of games that I had in my collection still, as well as homebrew and aftermarket games to see what works, what doesn't. And this is a pretty interesting product, and so I'm going to explain this product in the video. Many people are maybe like, what's a remix version of Polymega? What is that? A lot of confusion about this product. There's more information on the website, so I'm going to jump right into the review. Here we go. So what is a Polymega? Polymega is a device that emulates other consoles, and it sells individual modules, and the base unit, the remix, is compatible with Neo Geo CD, Sega CD, Mega CD, TurboGrafx CD, PC Engine CD. It advertised the Polymega collection, but I'm going to talk about that later. PlaStation 1, Sega Saturn, both US and import, as well as some other things. And so, you can also add the individual modules that Polymega sells. So then you can play your Nintendo, your Famicom, your Super Nintendo, your Sega Genesis, and all those modules cost extra, and it is compatible with this. What makes this kind of weird is that it's only $200, and what they did is it doesn't have any RAM, and so this is definitely a product that they can offer at a decent price because it doesn't have any RAM. It uses the power of the PC it's required to hook up to. Now, it's only compatible with Windows 11. It does state that it does work with Boot Camp, so if you have an Apple computer, you can, but it only runs in Windows 11. They want to do other operating systems. They want to do a Steam app. They want to do some other things. But yeah, so here's the base unit. It's just Windows 11 right now, and so on the bottom, it's interesting. You can open that up, but I don't know if you can add things to it or what. But anyways. It looks a lot like the other base unit. It's compatible with all the modules, and so it comes with lots of different power brick options. It has universal power brick options around the world. I love that. And a simple micro USB cable. A USB to C. This data cable is a C to a USB A, I think, to a computer. And this does not have hookups directly to a TV. That's a confusing thing. You can't play this directly like the other Polymega base unit. And so that can be confusing because essentially this is kind of like a ROM dumper. You can install games on your PC and disconnect this. That's what makes it kind of weird, is that it is kind of a ROM dumper. And so you do you. I'm not going to tell you how to game. I got the Polymega Universal Controller. I heard good things about it from a friend of mine. Picked that up, and it shipped on the same day. And it comes with a receiver, so low latency, and pretty nice. It's got definitely like a PlaStation 4 kind of feel to it, and a nice controller. And so maybe a cross between PS2 and PS4. I don't know. In the comments, let me know. I like it. It's got a nice feel to it. This has a micro USB cable to plug in directly to the Polymega Remix or the Polymega, or you can go wireless. If you plug it in and charge, it's red, but at least in controller port 1, it's purple when you do wireless. So I like the distinct different colors identifying what it's doing. Mine didn't come fully charged, so I had to charge it, and there you go. When it's charging, it kind of does that, and then when you plug it in, it's solid red. So I don't want to be confusing there. Alright, so I wanted to do a low-end computer to see if it could actually work, and this is a Windows Surface Go 2. It only works with Windows 11, and this is a low-end PC, so this is going to barely work with the app. I'm also going to test my tower, which is more modern. If you're curious, my computer has the processors an AMD Ryzen 9 7900X 12-core processor and 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it's pretty modern, and so I don't have really any problems running things. Anyways, so you install the app. You have to go into Windows Security, just a heads up, and turn off some things. Real-time protection and dev drive protection have to be turned off for the app to even be able to download. And you go to the website. It is in beta. It's in like 0.7, and so they might even update this before I do the video. Anyways, it's in beta. It's not 1.0. And so that's important to know. They talk later about kind of what's working and what's not, but just want to say that. And you have to download it. And you know, I'm downloading this on a potato on the Windows Surface Go 2. I do test my tower with a couple games that didn't run, just to rule out that it was an emulator thing. This is emulating as well. This is I do believe it's full on emulator. And Windows protect your PC run anyways. That's always scary, but that's what they told me to do. They did message me finally on their Twitter account. Anyways, yeah, so then you run it and you just go from there, and it didn't run, and I didn't know what to do, and so I had to kind of like hunt and peck and figure out things, because when they rolled this out, there was a lot of like issues. So yep, this full install and go from there. And so it takes a little bit of time to install on my Windows Surface Go 2. Gives you a prompt to start the app, and then you can then go into the Polymega. You have to have the Polymega hooked up to your computer, turned on, and then you can go into settings. Lots of different settings, and it's nice. It's got a lot of different system region. There's going to be display options. Right now it's only 1080 1080p settings, so that's frustrating. I had to like figure out why my tower wasn't working, because it was in 4K, and so I had to like scale that down. And yeah, when you insert a disc, it should identify it if it's an official release. Samurai Showdown 2, one of my favorite Neo Geo games of all time. And Neo Geo CD had some issues, but I wanted to see this, and so I picked up. That's an official US release, but these are some aftermarket games. Last Hope, and then I got these off eBay, Shinobi and Golden Axe. And so this is running on a Windows Surface Go 2, and it took a while to install. And once you install a game, you can disconnect your Polymega Remix and just play that way. So that's a pretty awesome feature. That's like the perk of this, is essentially it is a ROM dumper that then you can disconnect your system and play that way. Now there's lots of other ways to play this. I mean, there's tons of ways of playing Neo Geo stuff, and I just wanted to say this is running. I'm running this off my CD, so I'm not on an install. So pretty interesting. Lots of different screen settings as well. You can do the CRT filter, you can do the blur, lots of different options there. Mess around with. I just like a clean look. That's the way I've always liked to play. So you play the way you want, and you know, that's gonna determine, you know, what you grew up with, what you expect. All right, no Golden Axe. Golden Axe doesn't work. Works on original hardware. I did a video on it. Shinobi doesn't work. It's got white background. I don't know what that's about. And Last Hope doesn't work. And so disappointing. These aren't official releases, but still. So N64 support, internet connectivity issues, keyboard icons slightly off center, 4K display output, multi-disc. There's just lots here that's not working yet. And that kind of came out after the app was showing that it wasn't working 100%. So that's frustrating. The Surface Go 2 I knew was going to struggle with Saturn, and I still wanted to test it and show people, hey, if you're getting this for Saturn, you're going to need a decent computer. Now, that kind of varies, but you know, the low-end specs, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 1 gigabyte of hard space, so hard drive space. Anyways, that's going to be interesting to see. Like, I think they need to detail that better. Anyways, I tried running it on the Surface Go 2, which has low-end specs, and wanted to see it, and could it run, you know, like a 2D arcade game. And I was pleasantly surprised. Now, the music sucks. The music stutters. Gameplay a little bit, but playable. You know, this is such a timeless classic that I would never recommend people to play it this way. I'm not gonna have you suffer and watch this, but yeah, it's not good. I had a custom Saturn game given to me from a good friend, Linkle Liver Story, and it runs terrible on the Surface Go 2. So I don't blame Polymega for that, because they do say you're going to need a more beefier computer to run Saturn emulation. And I'm happy to report on my tower, everything ran better. And so less stutters. There was one stutter, but I don't know if that's, you know, in the actual emulation on the Saturn of the Super Nintendo game. Right there, it kind of stuttered. But anyways, I don't know if the Saturn had perfect emulation of this game, and so, but it ran great. The music was much better. Overall, I was very satisfied with this, and nice to see it, and nice to see that it was registering games that weren't official releases. I had discs that weren't official releases, and it took them anyways. Ran into a weird issue with Double Dragon 2. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then I had a reproduction of Dracula X, and so just to play. And then I had a kind of a weird 75-in-1 Duo emulator disc. I've had in my collection a long time, and you know, I don't know where I picked it up. Anyways, Super Hucard, and pretty interesting collection, and want to show this. Okay, Dracula X played fine, and it was great. I had some sound issues, but I bet you if I played this on my tower, all that would go away. So I don't blame Polymega for that. These are the things that Polymega does well, and happy to say that about 6 out of 10 things that people want, that Polymega is doing those. It's the other 4 that are, you know, concerning. As you know what, I think people have lots of opinions about this device. I know I do. The controller would crash, the app would crash. I put in Double Dragon 2 and it like reverted back to keyboard control. I couldn't get my keyboard control to work right. There were ejecting discs. That's a whole other thing. I had major issues with ejecting discs, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So frustrating. Sometimes I spent like minutes on getting my disc out. That was really concerning, because if you're putting in this expensive discs, you're not going to want to deal with any of that crud. And so that's important to know, that I had to fiddle with that quite a bit. The emulation 75-in-1, it fired up on my tower, and this is a pretty interesting collection. I'm not going to go into this. I might go into it later. I don't know if there's a lot of coverage of this. Anyway, Super Hucard, and it's got tons of games on it, both PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16, and pretty fun. And I kept it because, well, Well, I love TurboGrafx games, and I wanted to test this disc on this device. That's why I kept it specifically. Anyways, Alien Crush, such a fantastic video game pinball game, and I really like it. Devil's Crush as well. I need to pick up a copy of that at some point. Anyways, amazing game. And it works. On my tower, no problems, ran fine. Sega CD and Mega CD. I had a Mega CD disc as well as a reproduction or a fan translation of the uncensored Lunar Eternal Blue from Project Retro Games. And I talked about this on my channel previously. They do awesome stuff. And yeah, Heavy Nova, not a great game, but it was the only Mega CD game I had on hand. And thank you, Corey. And just wanted to show it. It's working. Okay, yay, it's working. And then Lunar Eternal Blue, yeah, fired right up, and it registered it. And I don't know if like all the extensions and things are built into the Polymega database. There's missing some things, but it played. Anyways, Konami Arcade Classics, recent pickup I got, and then Harmful Park, which was a translation, a fan translation from Project Retro Games, which I just did a video on that. So it's playing a lot of things. It's not playing PlaStation at full speed. So just know that if you have a potato for a computer, it's gonna stutter with audio. So TurboGrafx, PlaStation, and Saturn, on the minimum specs, you're gonna struggle. Okay. Harmful Park, same thing. Struggled with gameplay and sound, and that's gonna really kind of frustrate some people, for sure. I think they could do a better job at communicating that. You know, they talk about Saturn, but Saturn's not the only thing that's struggling with low processor. Well, this is running on my tower computer, just so much better. I have, much more processing power and RAM, and it was just really nice to see. So, yeah, they show a lot. Like, it'd be interesting to see how this runs on Steam Deck and other things. Yeah, targeted VCS support. I don't know if that's ever going to happen or come, but it'd be interesting to see how it runs on that. But yeah, it ran a lot better, and so it was nice to see that. Now, Polymega has their own games, and none of them work right now. It doesn't play any of these. So I think they could do a better job saying, this isn't working on the Polymega. Hopefully that needs to be addressed soon. Picked up some games just to show in this video, and they don't work with this. This product's not ready. This is the second product I've done in which this one's a little different because it's like they're offering it to sell. They ship it to people, and it's the app's not 1.0. I don't know why that wasn't ready. To me, that was a mistake on their end. Lots of bugs. Now they're communicated like at the very end, like what things were working and not. I think Polymega needs to work on their communication and how they deliver the communication. I feel like they react a lot. They react a lot to people. I tried communicating to them directly. They didn't get back to me. And then finally they go on social media and explain. But like, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. The communication has been kind of an issue with them. This product is in beta, in my opinion. It's not ready to be sold. They're selling it. The app is not up to speed. It doesn't play all the things that they said it was going to play. It doesn't work with N64. It doesn't work with some other things. Some games aren't working. The interface is still going through bugs. Now, they say that they're going to quickly update this app. And I want to do a follow-up video. I don't like trashing companies, but this is the honest truth. It needs to be better than than when it rolled out, okay? You can't be announcing a product being shipped in May if it's not working right. that takes away all the excitement about it being shipped early. Okay, this needs to be better. I do think the specs, the low end specs, I think they need to be communicate more. They talk a lot about Saturn, but my PlaStation on my Surface Go 2 wasn't running great. Really, you need a decent computer to run some of the Saturn and PlaStation stuff. I was pleasantly surprised on some of the other things, but then there's a lot of aftermarket stuff that's just not working. I don't know what that's about. Anyways, that's where I'm at. It's just so-so. 6 out of 10. If I was to give it a number, 6 out of 10. It's got to be better. It's got to be, the updates need to have to happen soon. In this current state, I can't recommend people buying it. Okay, I think people need to wait for Polymega to update and refine this. Hopefully, they're not relying too much on the free service of customers to communicate the bug issues with this system. Polymega should have done that before they offered it. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, be better, do better, Polymega. That's my opinion. And as a customer, I'm disappointed with this. And I hopefully you'll have a roadmap and clearly communicate that to people on when it's going to be updated. Anyways, thank you so much. This is an honest review, and if you like what you see, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is Immortal John Hancock, and take care.